And welcome back to On the Branch Gaming, where we're having our hand held.
Yeah, game finally held our hand after I figured out where to go. I'm like, oh, I remember where to go, and
then it's like, hey, you need to go here.
Yeah. Whoop, Mega Man.
Yep.
Okay, so guys, we promise this is the last episode we talk about our boring-ass high school years. I have to tell this story about the G-Man. Who will not be fully named because we're not telling nice stories about him.
Right.
One of the projects he had his very first graduating class do was he had them build a set of benches.
Oh!
You know this story.
This story was handed down.
Yeah. So, again, even back then, the kids didn't like him too much.
No. Not very much at all.
And he was always having you do these really
ridiculous,
tedious projects as a class. And one of the very first big class project he had, one of his junior or senior year students do, is he had them make benches out in front of the school. And they're actually really cool benches.
They were very nice.
They were there for at least 10 years.
I think they're still there.
Okay. I can't imagine they're still there because of how this story ends.
No, they're still there.
Wow. Okay.
Like, at least when I was going there, they were still there up until I graduated. So that's like 4 or 5 years after the story.
Okay. Ooh, leap of faith. Did we make it?
Nope.
You can't make it across there. That's where we have to go. So yeah. So he had them build these, and he brought in his own tools from home to help work on them. Mm-hmm. And he would always complain about how all his tools were missing. Even when I was a senior, so like maybe 8 years later, he would always complain about how his tools would always go missing, and he could never trust the kids. Well, this actually started because those kids sunk these are concrete benches. They sunk the tools into the concrete benches as they were made. And he never found out about this. He still might not know about this. Although I do believe I saw them once. Like, I think I saw, maybe it was just metal rebar, but I could have sworn I saw part of a crescent wrench.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were telling that story when I went there, and the benches were still there.
That is phenomenal.
So unless they remade the benches, they're still in there.
That is wonderful.
So then there were just two other. I believe they were both substitutes, right?
Oh yeah. We were talking about substitutes. Yeah. I could definitely name him Mr. Lockage. He was great. We'll call the other one just Mr. D. You never met Mr. Lockage. He died before you went there. But he was really cool. He was the guy that told me at age 14 I should drop out and go to college, except the state had just made that illegal to do in Nevada. But yeah, he told like all the kids in my engineering class, like, you guys are too smart to be going to a high school. You should just be in college now and get on with your lives and get out and, get lots of school under your belt before you turn, 20 or so and then go to work.
Start forgetting.
Yeah, exactly. So, you told me and we're calling him Mr. D because of this story, but you told me he got fired. Tell me about that.
So Mr. D was one of the recurring substitute teachers, along with another one that I'll mention here in a minute. Mr. D got fired in, I believe it was my senior year of high school. Because I wouldn't necessarily say he was the nicest sub.
Okay. He was a bit of a hard ass.
Yeah, he was very much a hard ass. So
I loved him, but
we had a couple friends. One of our friends named Alan had actually fallen asleep while he was subbing because he didn't have the best life. He was under a lot of stress, and he was just like completely overworked. Like he was at his breaking point as a kid of that age. So he fell asleep in class, like head on the desk, all that. Mr. D came up to him and pulled the chair out from under him to wake him up.
Oh, geez. No, he was never that big of a hard ass when I went there.
No, he did that, and then he got fired for it.
No, I meant when I went there, he was never quite that much of a hard ass.
Yeah, that's how he got fired.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's not nearly as funny as the story as you made it sound like it would be.
But it's still a thing. And then there was Fanny Pack.
Oh yeah, Mr. Fanny Pack Man. I don't even remember his name. He was just Mr.
I don't
Fanny
remember
Pack
his
Man.
name either. All I know is that he would just sit there all day and just undress girls with his eyes.
He was a creeper, dude.
He was a creeper.
He wasn't just creeper. He was
a mega creeper.
I mean, he never knew the material, so like it would basically.
But he was always there.
Like if the teachers knew that he was their sub, they would basically have to make sure they had a video ready for him to be the substitute,
because nothing was going to get done.
And see, they would. I don't know what most of you guys were like as far as your teachers in high school and videos, but our teachers made sure the videos were boring, so we didn't want to see them.
Yeah. It's not like we got to watch like Bill Nye or something cool.
Well, I mean, Bill Nye's a little remedial for a high school.
I don't care. Bill Nye's still fucking awesome.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Oh, this boss first. Okay, I've got to beat this guy. It's the Mama Shegoth.
Right.
I think it makes me fight a couple of little ones first. Come on, where are you guys? Show up on my radar.
Can't get the thing.
Oh, I have to walk up and try to get the thing, and then it like goes psych.
It's like, sorry, you got to beat the thing first.
Yeah, and then it gives me two little babies, and they're like, oh, what a lame mini boss fight.
I've already killed these.
Yeah. How are we doing on time, Ahmed?
We're doing doing okay.
Okay, so tell me, can you remember the sickest burn you've ever laid on someone? Like, does it spring to mind? Because I know mine.
Well, because that's the thing is, I don't really burn people. I just troll people.
Okay.
That's a bit different.
Yeah, that is. I would absolutely say that's substantially different. You know, Jamie, like she's always burning people, but unfortunately, it's nothing we can repeat on the show because it's all people we know or have mutual friends with.
Yeah,
so,
but I mean, if you know ones that she has burned of me, sure, go for it.
I can't. You're like the most wonderful, lovable person anyone's ever met, so no one would ever burn you.
Yeah, they would. They would burn me at the stake.
I wasted my sickest burn ever on an online game. You know Heroes of New Earth? I've told you about this? Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Heroes of New Earth, for our audience members that don't play obscure MOBAs, was like 100% clone of Dota, which it was
the new Dota when Dota was still Dota.
Yeah. Like when there was...
Before League of Legends.
Well, it was actually simultaneous with League of Legends for a while. It was contemporary. Yeah, it was basically there was a game studio that was making like a complete 100% copy of Dota with the help of the person who created it.
Ice Frog.
Yeah, they were doing it with Ice Frog's help. Okay, this thing tells me how to beat it. So, the crystal on their back absorb energy, which they fire. Prey. She does have poor stamina. Oh yeah, that's right. You have to wait for it to get tired.
Super missile mouth.
Yeah, you can shoot and missile it. We don't have super missiles yet.
Well, then regular missile to mouth.
Yeah. But you have to wait for it to, like, go pant.
But anyway, so here's New Earth.
Yeah. Yeah, so it had a built-in voice chat system, which I love to death. It's one of my favorite features of the game.
Because you could also just talk to Lane.
You could just talk to people close by to you, and it was really low bitrate, so it didn't add a lot of lag, but you could hear people clearly, and you could mute people. It lowered your voice, so, people like me who have really high-toned voices, they don't annoy everybody. Or, like, if a little kid's on, he's not annoying everyone with his voice. But, I mean, you had your standard internet trolls on there.
Learn to play, scrub.
No, the worst guy ever. I forget the name of my friend who I was playing with. Sorry, dude. We only played this game together.
Was it, Xantaris? Or?
No. It was not a real-life friend of ours.
Oh. It was an at-the-time friend?
Yeah, it was an online-only friend.
Was it,
there we go.
Was it someone from Dota?
It was somebody that we had met in Dota and then started playing Heroes of New Earth with. But, so anyway, I was playing with just me and this guy, and one of our teammates, like, I said something, and, I don't have a voice that's the most pleasant to everyone. He says, why don't you shut your mouth before I knock my cock out of it, you faggot? Like, that's a direct quote, and I don't shy away from, saying words that I would not normally say if I'm quoting someone.
Right.
Because that is not a word I would normally... Yeah, that is not a word I would normally ever use.
Or a sentence you would ever use.
And I know, like, Louis C.K. says it's okay if you don't mean it in a particular derogatory way. I disagree with that particular word. But anyway, digressing. So yeah, he says that, and just within a second, not missing a beat, I go, "Oh, you're a real tough guy, huh? I bet your wife and dog are real scared of you." And, I mean, he just stopped talking. Just completely didn't say a word until the very end of the game. And at the end, he's like, "You know what, guys? I'm really sorry I said that earlier. I was really out of line, and I just that wasn't really coming from a good place." And to this day, I think damn, I wasted my sickest burn ever. Hey, we got a second weapon!
Yay!
Yeah, well, I told that story.
Yay! And, next time on the branch, we'll use the new weapon on useful stuff that aren't doors.
Yay!
Yay!